Namaste everyone and welcome to K7 Vedic Astrology. And we're continuing with our dream analysis series, and I have 7 more dreams for you which I'm going to share with you and their interpretation. Before I do, I would just like to remind you again that the interpretation is a generic interpretation of what would a dream mean. But to know the exact interpretation of the dream for an individual, we need to study their individual charts, the horoscope and the horoscope of the dream that they had. So another thing that I would like to include in before I start is that today the dreams that I will be sharing with you would also have a little bit of not dreams which are not giving very positive results or not very positive dream, but the idea behind that is not to scare you in any way, but only to tell you, like, if you, for instance, if you see a dream like that, maybe you can take some kind of caution, some kind of precaution. So that is what is there, but they're not so alarming, but yeah, they can be. But I'm going to start off with auspicious dream. I'm going to start off with one of the most auspicious dream, especially considered very auspicious in India. Actually, it's considered auspicious in a lot of cultures across the world, but in India it's still, especially in South India, it's considered really auspicious. If you see in your dream that you are being lifted by an elephant using its trunk, and the elephant puts you on its head, so you dream of an elephant in your dream, and the elephant picks you up and puts you on its head. This is the exact thing. Like, if you just see a dream of an elephant, that's different, but in this one, the elephant should pick you up. If that happens, that dream is a direct indication of becoming a king. Now, you would say, like, nobody is a king or a queen in today's time, so it would indicate a position or fame which is equivalent to being a king, especially for somebody who is in a political, who is a professional politician, or who is working with trade unions or unions kind of thing, or is into sports, is playing for a team. Seeing a dream like this would indicate that they will gain a lot of power and authority. So, like, for example, the captain of a football team is like a king, and especially within his team and also within his followers, people who like to watch football. The Prime Minister of India or Prime Minister of any country is a king. So the Prime Minister of, the Chief Minister of your state is a king, maybe a smaller king than the Prime Minister, but still a king. So what it indicates is basically a lot of wealth and overall prosperity, a lot of good fortune, fame, and wealth and money, and all kind of riches. It's a symbol of abundance, basically. So if you will see in, if you will visit south of India, you will see that outside these temples they all have a lot of elephants, especially in Kerala, and the elephants are really treated so well. And the elephants, they bless you, by putting their trunk on your head. So it's considered like a very auspicious blessing. So in your dream, if you see that the elephant picks you up and puts you on its head, it's considered to be one of the most auspicious dreams. So if you had that thing, it's a dream indicating very good news coming your way. It's indicating good promotion, or it's indicating it's a sort of elevation, like you're going to get elevated spiritually, materialistically, in every manner. In our last video, we talked about eating eggs. In our dream, if we see yourself eating egg. So I have to include something more over there, but that is not about eating egg, but if you see just eggs in your dream. So I'm sharing this with you also to remove fear around eating eggs, because if you remember, if you see yourself eating egg, that means that there's going to be a lot of chaos and problem in the family life. But so we have to pay attention and see, like, were you really eating eggs, or did you only see eggs in your dream? So if you see eggs in your dream, this is the opposite of eating eggs, and it becomes a very good dream. It's a good omen. It's actually considered to be an omen. It's not just a dream. It's considered a very good omen that a very positive, very strong harmony, stability is going to come into your family life. or even in your professional life, in all form of your all areas of your life. It's considered to be a very good dream, a very positive omen to see eggs in your dream. To add on to this, this would also include or show a lot of satisfaction from any kind of venture that you are going to enter or you have recently entered. It also shows a lot of satisfaction and prosperity in your marriage, and it basically, again, it's a symbol of homely pleasure, homely fulfillment of homely desires. Homely means like related to your home, related to your heart, related to your family, your friends. So you're going to, in fact, you can expect like help from a family member or help from a friend. Secretly or maybe more openly, a friend can show up and would like to help you financially or in whichever way you want their help. So it's again considered to be a very good auspicious dream. So now we're going to move on to another dream, which is a very common dream because a lot of people, I'm sure, must have dreamt of seeing a beautiful or a woman embracing them in their sleep, in their dream. So if you see a woman embracing you in your dream, first thing that it indicates is happiness. First thing it indicates is happiness. Second thing it indicates is prosperity and abundance and wealth and all kind of riches coming to you. That's what embrace of a woman would indicate. But now this embrace has a catch. The catch is like you have to really focus on what kind of clothing, not really clothing, but the color of the clothing that the woman is wearing. If the woman who embraces you is wearing black colored clothes, now this can be interpreted either as a transformation or as an absolute death. Okay, a transformation can be like probably like for someone like who's already keeping quite healthy and is looking for a change, but more of it is not considered to be a very good dream, to be honest. It's considered to be not a very good omen to see a woman in black embracing you. So this transformation, we don't know if it's going to be a good transformation or bad. That we can calculate somehow using the horoscope, but in first look the answer would be like not a good dream. Some kind of issue is there. Now what if you see a lady in red embracing you? So lady in red is not going to give you death, but lady in death is going to give you troubles which are equivalent to dying, or which are like hardships and difficulties and problems and everything like that. They get indicated by seeing that a woman dressed in red is embracing you. So a woman's embrace can be really fatal, or it can be really life-changing, it can be really positive, depending on the clothing. Because I think the clothing is indicating here also, not just, it's a metaphor, I think, that the dream or analysis is trying to, so the dream or the subconscious is trying to show us black being color of darkness, going into darkness, going into unknown, red being a color of alarm or color of our blood, color of like hardship, like fighting for achieving something. So if you see a woman embracing you in these two colors basically, so that's alarming, you should be aware. Other colors maybe not so alarming, maybe it's good. Maybe you're dressed in white, can be like very, very nice, very pure, very good, prosperity and happiness giving. But black and red especially what we should be careful of. Now India is a land of a lot of fakirs and babas and sadhus and saints and godly mans. What if you see them in your dream? Now this is not about a specific fakir or specific sadhu. It can be anyone who's dressed up like a sadhu. But yes, it should be not your like friend who's dressed up like a sadhu. Although there are two thoughts about it, like sometimes like a friend or a person known to you who's dressed up like a fakir can be considered in the interpretation that I'm giving. Sometimes it cannot be. So for that we have to see again the chart. But basically, what would it mean? Like if you see a fakir in your dream or a sadhu in your dream, it would basically means that an unexpected change is coming in your life. If you are on a spiritual path, this unexpected change can be really beautiful, really life-changing, and really something that you're looking forward to. You've been looking for it. But if you are not on that path, if your path is more of like, first working with your desires, worldly desires, and working with a more materialistic approach, you will find that this dream would indicate that somebody is going to cheat you, or you're going to feel cheated very badly. So they can cheat you in terms of money, they can even cheat you emotionally or in some other way. So but basically seeing a fakir would indicate that a feeling that you got cheated. Now if we, depending again on more analysis of the chart, it can indicate like the cheating can indicate a sort of transformation, and unexpected transformation which can come. For example, if somebody was on a very materialistic path and they get cheated, and then suddenly, you might have heard of this story that this man was like a big businessman doing really good, and suddenly something happened, and now he has become very spiritual. He's not interested in anything like this. What has happened? Probably there's a possibility that if that person was dreaming and if they were aware, they might have seen a dream of seeing a fakir in their dream, seeing a sadhu or seeing a baba in their dream, or a saint. Saint like Mother Teresa, I would not consider her in this kind of a dream, because watching her can have many reasons. But yes, I think watching her would be more of a transformational change, more of a change indicating a more spiritual enlightenment, spiritual, moving on to a higher frequency. And that is, I think, what it would mean. In our last video, we talked about eating fish. So if we talk about eating fish, we should also talk about fishermen. So if you see a fisherman in your dream, now, he's a fisherman because of his dress up, or you see him fishing, but he's a fisherman. He's not a regular man fishing. So if you see a fisherman, even actually I would like to add on to it, like even if you see a regular man fishing, that can also have similar effects, because if he should be fishing, then maybe he should have already fished a couple of things. Okay, then only we'll consider him to be fishing. But if a fisherman is like somebody who's dressed up like that, even if he has not fished anything, he would be considered as a fisherman. So if you see a fisherman in your dream, what would that mean? This would mean that either you have been meddling with somebody else's work, or you're going to meddle with somebody else's work. This dream is a very strong dream indicating keep your nose away from other people's business. If you will not, you are really going to regret that. This is a dream which is indicating a sort of punishment that you're going to get because of meddling into other people's business, meddling into other people's personal life or work life or whatever life. So if you have been doing that, it's time to be on your back foot. And if you dreamed of it already, and if you were aware, maybe it's a good idea to wake up from that dream so that the dream doesn't come true. So that is what it is. If you see in your dream that you were giving charity to a charitable institution, so a lot of times, like it's a very noble gesture to give charity to all these charitable institutions and all these foundations which are working for the weaker section of the society. But if you dream of doing something like that, like that you're giving charity in your dream to a charitable institution, so the important thing is charitable institution, this indicates a loss of your own personal property. It could mean your like a property, like anything that you consider as a property, like your home, your car, or your money, your gold, or whatever. This indicates loss. This indicates a lot of worries coming your way. This indicates that a lot of unpleasant events are approaching you. So if you see yourself that donating, giving a big charity at a charitable institution, you have to be careful with this. What I'm telling you, like, it's not a regular charity that you're giving to someone. It has to be to a charitable institution. Then it would indicate sickness, a lot of worries in your life, and loss of your assets, loss of your property. So again, not a very good dream to wake up to. Then if you see in your dream gypsies, so if you see gypsies in your dream, that would indicate a very strong instability approaching. It can be unstable state of your mind, it can be an unstable state of other business affairs, life affairs, or whatever things, anything, whatever is going on in your life, it will become very unstable. This also this also indicates that you will get prone, or you will be seen as somebody who's constantly changing his mind. So if you are dreaming something like this is an indication of how people are perceiving you at workplace, at life, personal life, wherever. People are really not convinced with the way you are working with them. People are not convinced with the way you're dealing with them. So if you dream of gypsies, important thing for you to do is like try to stabilize yourself more. So every time you have an idea or something going on in your life, don't just jump from one conclusion to another, or from one situation to another. Stay there, give it more time, give yourself a bit more weight, so that people and you yourself can rely yourself on a bit more. Sorry, yeah, a lot of burpee today. Okay, so this was my, I think, the interpretation of seven of the dreams that I wanted to talk about today. And thank you for watching, and if you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, if you have, thank you. Please, if you know anyone who might be interested in what I'm doing, and give them my recommendation, so that they can also like and subscribe to my channel and enjoy these small videos. So I would like to say thank you and namaste, and have a good day, a good night, and namaste.